In recent times, 4 drivers have died, 2 drivers have suffered serious injuries in one of the worst years on record for Australian Speedway. As Sean Murphy reports tonight, officials have now speeded up plans for a special safety conference to see how, or even if, the carnage can be stopped.
As the cars came off turn 4, Joe lost control while in the front of the pack.
Until they do something about it, more people will die or more people will be maimed.
Gary, oh, Trevor Green's over! A big one, nearly out of the ballpark, and still he goes.
And we can have the strongest cars in the world, but you can't make a man's body any stronger.
It is a dangerous sport, and whenever you've got a vehicle on 4 wheels and an engine propelling it along at high speeds, it's got to be dangerous.
And the green light sends them on their way.
They're the mighty midgets of motorsport, and they're now facing possibly the biggest challenge of nearly 50 years in Australia. In the past 12 months, speed cars have killed 4 drivers and critically injured 2 others. After nearly 20 years without a single death, the Sports Administration is at a loss to explain why.
If I knew the answer, there wouldn't be another one tomorrow. I can assure you that there wouldn't be another one.
Peter Holland has ruled over speed car racing for 30 years. He admits the sport is hurting.
A person's life is very valuable, and it's just as valuable to us as to the families, really, let me assure you, because they're our families too. We've all been around a long time together.
Sydney mechanic Bob Woods is typical of the weekend warriors who make up the speed car division. What is it that makes you race?
I think just the excitement of it, just the speed and the thrill of competing, closeness out there.
But after losing his best mate, Joe Faraggia, in this horrific crash at Parramatta Speedway last month, he's worried.
You know, I can't impress upon you how close he was. I don't want that to go unnoticed. We want to try and do something to make sure there's no more.
You won't find any Nigel Mansells out there in tonight's 15-lap feature race. First prize is only $200. Speed car racing is the real budget end of high-performance motorsport. Most of the drivers are just ordinary people who compete for the love of it. It's why they say safety is the #1 aspect of their sport.
Before we go out the gate, I'll go and see if that damp spot's still down the bottom there in turn 3.
Barry Graham is a professional IndyCar driver with 30 years experience. Tonight, he's in the pits for his 24-year-old son, Stephen.
Our family have always gone motor racing, and naturally it was, you know, what he wanted to do. So, you know, we picked on the speed cars because I feel it was a good division and it was a safe division.
Tonight, his son's safety is put to the test.
Oh, there's trouble. One over. Up onto the concrete wall.
So I suppose it was a good example of your safety equipment working?
Yeah, well, it is. We've put a lot of effort into the safety of our car, and we proved then that our car is safe and these cars can handle that sort of a crash.
Speed car safety has come a long way since they looked like this. Through the 50s and 60s, the sport was losing a driver a year until roll cages became compulsory in 1971. But there are now calls to make overhead wings compulsory. Just like on bigger, faster sprint cars, they could absorb much of the impact from rollovers.
No, that's not me.
Daddy?
After 3 crashes, Queensland champion David Gross is so worried about driver safety, he's quit the sport. In January this year, he had his own brush with death in Adelaide.
When I woke up, I thought maybe I was dead because all I saw was white lights. But I came to and I thought, I've had enough of this, I'm getting out of it.
He's now progressed to the relative safety of NASCARs, but says speed car drivers remain at high risk.
As the cars are crashing now, there's missiles or objects going in which are killing the drivers. There either needs to be a wing put on the top of the car, a plate put on top of the car, or some sort of mesh.
In the cold light of day, the fans do come here to see accidents, but they certainly don't want to come and see deaths.
Peter Gerbiel is National Secretary of the Speedway Promoters Association. He believes everything possible is being done to protect drivers.
You can't have it much safer than what they are now. It's just part and parcel of the game. It's a dangerous sport.
Yep, risky business. And on Tuesday, April the 13th,